everybody, welcome to Guitar Control. Hope you're all doing great. My name is Robert, and we are here today talking about adding some funk to your acoustic playing. So, adding those kind of like percussive rhythms, that funky style to stuff, is something that crosses like all platforms. Electric guitar, acoustic guitar. It can just sound really, really cool, and it spices up a lot of stuff. It fills in a lot of the emptiness sometimes if that's what you're going for. So make sure you got the tabs down below. And we're going to go ahead and jump into this one. I got a couple different examples here for you. So example number 1. So the first thing we're going to be doing is covering our pentatonic scale. Now we're going to be using a lot of notes from our pentatonic scale, and it's a really good way to practice this stuff is, incorporating a scale into what you're playing. That way, the notes that you're playing are going to be in key. So first part is an A minor pentatonic scale. Now that goes like this. It's 5 to 8 on the low E string. Now you go to the A string, and you're going to go 5 to 8. Then you're going to go to the D, 5, 8. The G would be 5, 8. The B, oh, what in the world? So you're going to go 5 to 8 on the low E string. The A string is 5 to 7. The D is 5 to 7. The G is 5 to 7. The B is 5 to 8. And the high E string is 5 to 8 as well. So, and phase 1 is just get to where you can comfortably ascend that and descend. Now, once you have that, a good rhythmic tool to practice this is to practice just playing your pentatonic scale with rhythms. What I mean by that is if you just do it very straight like this, there's not much rhythm involved in it. It's just kind of straight through the scale. So go like this. And what I'm doing is I'm tapping my foot in between each one. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. It seems very simple and straightforward, but just adding that little bit of space, adds a lot to it. Sometimes it's about the notes we're not playing. It's not always about adding more notes. It's about adding the notes where we really need them to be. So that's the first thing that I want you to do is just work on getting that scale underneath your fingers. Maybe do some rhythm thing. All right, so the next thing we need to do is add the trademark kind of like scratchiness of the funk sound. Now how I'm doing that is I'm just resting my left hand on the string. So I'm holding the strings down enough to where I get this sound, but I'm not doing it enough to where I'm actually like fretting any notes. I'm not going, you don't want that sound. You just want a nice light, sound like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this on top of it. Sounds kind of funky. Haha, and that's what we want, but it sounds odd, I should say. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like this. The challenge is keeping our right hand going. Even though our left hand is doing different rhythmic things, our right hand has to be going the whole time. It never alters. So what I'm playing here is I'm playing 5 on the high string and then 8 on the B. Then I go to 7 on the B to 5 on the high, 6 on the B to 5 on the high, and then 5 on the B and 5 on the high. So, okay? Now, the tricky part is this. I play the chord, or the phrase, whatever you want to call it, once, and then I do 2 left-hand mutes. So I go, okay? Now I start with a down, so that means my 2 left-hand mutes, left-hand mutes, go up, down. So the next time I play the actual fretted notes, will be on an up. So it's always alternating. It's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So again, 2 mutes. Now this is where I go 5 twice, and then mute, mute. So. So that's one way you can really practice it, and you can do that through any of your scales. So let's talk about the next example here, and this is kind of the last one that we're going to cover, but you know, I'm trying to go a little bit more in depth than these. So this is more of a riff to me. It has some lower strings in there, some muting, some higher strings, kind of the whole kit and caboodle is all in this riff. So the riff is this. So a lot to cover here actually. It might not seem like a lot, but it actually is. So I play 5th fret on the low E string with my pointer finger, and then I have 2 mutes that follow it. Bounce. Okay? So the challenge here is you have to get used to fretting a note and laying your hand across the strings again to make sure that they're deadened enough to get that scratch sound, but not an actual note. So now here I go, which is 7-5-7 on the D. So now I follow with 6 mutes. When I do that 7-5-7 though, I'm not really looking to be precise. I'm not going like only on the D, you know, kind of like mentalizing my movement. I'm just hitting the guitar. So what I'm doing is when I do that, while I'm muting that 7 on the D, or while I'm playing the 7 on the D, I'm actually muting everything underneath it with my left hand. That way, when I'm hitting those notes, I'm just kind of hitting those as well. Bow, bow, bow. There you have it. That is that one. Alright guys, that will be it for today. Hope you enjoyed that lesson. Keeping it funky all the time. So grab the tabs and I will see you next time.